What's happening, guys? Chris VA Travels, and I made it to the Culloden battlefield up here in the Highlands, northern Scotland, just outside of Inverness. And yeah, I just parked in the car park. To let you know, it's £5 to park. You can get your ticket over there, or there's a guy walking around. I actually just bought my ticket from him, just so you know, if you visit the guy in the orange right there. But yeah, headed in. Some bricks down here to donors possibly, and you've got a camouflaged food truck over there. Culloden. And is that in Gaelic? I don't know what language that is. About to walk this war grave, and we'll definitely treat it with respect. And I've got the pamphlet, and I'll go ahead letter by letter. And letter A, we'll walk up to the high grounds just to get an overview. This wall over here, the protruding stone marked the dead from the battle, both Jacobite and government forces. Eye in the sky is watching me. Plaque down here, and the actual battlefield is a little bit bigger than what we see. And I already see the main attraction down there, the big headstone marking all the Highland dead. So this is the Leanach cottage down here, and of course I'll be walking down to that. And yeah, this is the Culloden Moor where it all took place. As already said, red flags marking government troops, Jacobites down there, and I guess I'll be going up to see where the famous Jacobite charge took place. And this is a memorial cairn, it's called, remembering the dead Highlanders. What a great view up here. I just wanted to walk over to this side and just to check out the great view. Oh yeah, another picnic area down there. I don't think there are any more plaques. No, okay. Walk on back down. And stop C is going to be the cottage. So I'm going to walk down there. And then it takes me to the left. Yeah, to give you the numbers, there were about 7,500 government troops, about 5,500 Jacobites. Well, yeah, I've got a nice, bright, sunny day today, so I got lucky there. I might have to take this black jacket off. It's starting to feel the heat. Yeah, so here we are, government's left line. Let me check out this cottage. It says they had found a cannonball in the turf of the cottage. I don't think you can go inside. I haven't seen anybody come out, but whoa, what a small door. Big old thatch roof on this thing. You can probably see better than I can, but I just see a chair, a fireplace to the left, I think. Or I'm not sure if that was a fireplace actually. Oh, interesting. All right, well, there's the cottage. Let me go on to the next stop. And you can see where all this stone. Watch where I'm stepping. So next stop is going to be stop D. Let me make my way over to the path. So I guess Culloden is Gettysburg. Jacobites would be Confederates. Government troops would be the Union Army. I guess the only difference is this is fought on Jacobite territory. But oh yeah, I guess the Highland Charge would be Pickett's Charge. Ended up to be just as successful. Actually worse. I wonder why those clods of dirt are there. I was gonna say it was something digging in the ground, but I don't see any holes. Strange, but okay. Yeah, let me go on up to the flag. All right, so this flag is gonna mark the front line of the government army. See it down there, where approximately 8,000 troops were lined up. And this is where most of the hand-to-hand fighting took place. Okay, I'll read this plaque once they're finished. But yeah, it went on down. I see a fourth flag on down there. Yeah, they've got some tour groups going on. Some flowers. To the left of this point stood the Argyllshire men. Very left flank. Let me go on down. So it looks like E is going to be way on down to, I guess, what would be the Jacobites' far right flank. There's a path right here that looks like takes you down. And looks like almost like trenches, but I know it's not. Anyway, let me just read this before I walk down there. Okay. So this is where the Highland Charge penetrated, and this is where the most fierce hand-to-hand fighting took place. Over 700 Jacobites killed or wounded within just a few minutes. Wow. So yeah, you can imagine them running across the boggy moor. Let me see what this says. Alright, let me walk on down to the next stop. You always get that somber feeling when visiting battlefields. You just think about what the men were going through. Just the nerves, the anxiety before the attack, before the battle. The sadness of those falling around you. I guess there's also the thrill of victory. I don't know what those are. Doesn't say. Let me see what this says. But we should be in the path of the Highland Charge. Yeah, the Highland Charge. The Jacobites began to fire their muskets in this area. They gathered speed as they charged at the government troops, yelling and shouting. It says archaeologists have found items here relating to artillery, suggesting that the Jacobites were pounded by numerous rounds of canister shot. Wow. Fired by the government field guns. I don't know, are these trenches? I've never read any mention of trenches, but that's pretty much what they look like. You see these things everywhere up here in the Highlands. Alright, so here we are, like I say, stop E, ambush in the field. Big puddle right here. The field behind us used to be enclosed by stone walls. The government troops, the Argyle militia, knocked gaps through the walls to let cavalry across and threaten the rear of the Jacobite army. Then the troops waited in the enclosure and raked the retreating Jacobites with a devastating musket fire and a deadly ambush. Headed up to stop F. Yeah, so this is the Jacobite line right here. Again, about 5,500 troops. Bonnie Prince Charlie was stationed back here. And yeah, what rough terrain. Atholmen. And I would imagine this 500 stands for the amount of troops stationed here. The first shots. And Jacobites fired the first cannon shots from right here. Government troops responded with their own gunfire, trying to destroy the Jacobite line. And some Jacobites suffered terrible injuries as they stood in line, desperately waiting for orders to charge. Yep, this is where it all started. Yeah, and they kind of, they misfired. I believe they overshot the line. So, yeah. But anyway, yeah, that kicked it off. The next stop is going to be kind of going up, stop G. But I'm going to walk the Jacobite line first before heading that way. So this is Common Gorse, it says. Oh, the Camerons. 400 troops, it looks like. Alright, so what regiment do we have over here? The Appin Regiment. Stewards of Appin and the McLarens. 250 troops. John Roy Stewart's, just 200 troops. So yeah, smaller portion of the line. And what nasty terrain. Kind of reminds me of Jackson's portion of the battlefield, the Battle of Fredericksburg. How cool. When the Highland Charge began, the right flank was able to move forward, but the middle and left flanks were slowed by the boggier conditions down here. And it's saying this is actually drier than it was in 1746. Wow. Yeah, not a good spot to to choose the battle. Let me walk on down to the end. And is anything down there? That's not on the map, so I don't think I'm going to walk down there. But just a couple more of these regimental blocks. Hear a lot of nature down on this end. Oh, we've got the Frasers, 400. Strong down here. A lot of bird life down here. And maybe this wraps around. I see some people walking over there. I don't want to veer too off my my map here, my route. But yeah, let me see what this is. To the left stood many more clans. As I was saying, the battlefield is actually bigger than what we see, so I guess it goes on past the road. Let me backtrack just so I can stay on course, stay on my route, and go to that next stop, stop G. Yeah. Nasty conditions. And that's what's great about coming out to these battlefields, is you get to see, and this is actually drier than it was at the time of the battle, but you can picture what they were going through. And yeah, we're right in the middle of the charge, almost right between the two lines. And yeah, you could imagine what was going through the Jacobites' minds. Sadly, they were running right into their death, into the death of their culture, which is pretty sad. But yeah, okay, and we're up close to that memorial cairn up there too. Oh, and I should say the Jacobite army wasn't just Highlanders. Lowlanders and of course the French, who weren't too involved. They should have been. Well, if the Highland charge would have been successful, they would have been more involved. All right, yeah, this is a reference to the memorial cairn. In this area are the graves of some 1,500 Jacobites who died on the battlefield. Many of them were buried here in mass graves with other members of their clan or regiment. The exact burial site of the dead of the government army is still unknown. I'll check out that Dalmatian. The Battle of Culloden, fought of course April 16th, 1746. The graves of the gallant Highlanders who fought for, oh yeah, Scotland and Prince Charlie. Oh, 1908. Flowers left by some of the descendants of the different clan members. Erected 1881. Oh, McLean. I wonder if Ulysses S. Grant is descendant. And McIntosh. Okay. Oh, Thistle up here. Alright, of course, have to check out Clan Fraser Stone, you Outlander fans. Good series. I've watched the first 3 seasons. They were all good. Let me see what these stones say. Mixed clans. Yeah, mixed clans back here. I just passed some Americans. Yeah, more mixed clans. Oh, there are a bunch of the stones up here. Macintosh over here. And that says Macintosh also. And I think this is probably, I was going to say, where there's got to be a Cameron. Oh, yeah, of course, Stuart. Here the chief of the Kilvery fell. Remembering Culloden In the years after the Battle of Culloden, interest in the story of the battle steadily grew. The memorial cairn and the grave markers of the clans were constructed in 1881 by Duncan Forbes. That's it for Culloden. A great way to finish off my trip here to Scotland. And this is a definite must-see if you make it up here to the Highlands. But yeah, guys, I'm going to get out of here. As always, like and subscribe. See you on the next one.